All right, guys, here's our notes for the day. So yesterday we talked about graphing lines, which it was y equals mx. All right, that's also called our direct variation form. All right, our y and x are part of every equation, like we talked about yesterday, and m represents slope. Okay, and that's gonna be very important for today. All right, so remember that from yesterday. Okay, and slope is rise over run. Rise over run. All right, so today we're going to graph linear equations in what we call y-intercept form. The reason we call it y-intercept form is because we're always given the point in which the line goes through the y-intercept. Right? So slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. All right, so it's very similar to what we did yesterday. I kind of already showed you guys that the b just shows the direction in which that line is going to move. So slope is our m, our y-intercept is our b, and x and y are points on the line. Okay, they're points. All right. Where the graph line crosses so it's where it crosses the y-axis. Okay, that's gonna be our b, and I'll show you guys that in a second. Y-axis. All right. So if we go down here, I want you guys to say whether these are in slope-intercept formed, direct variation, a horizontal line, or vertical line. All right. So in order for it to be in slope-intercept form, it needs to have a y, m, x, and a b. So here we see a y, an m, and an x. So this is the direct variation form that we talked about yesterday. That's the actual term for it. This one has our y, our m, our x, and a b. Okay, so this is our slope-intercept form. I'm going to abbreviate it with SIF. All right. Now we just have y equals 6. Okay, so if it's y equals 6, the y-axis is a horizontal line, right? Y-axis is going up and down, so that's going to be a horizontal. Just as do we have vertical? X is going to be a vertical. Okay, that's going to make a vertical line if you were to graph that. Again, this one we have our y, our m, and our x, so this is a direct variation. And our last one is our slope-intercept form. So basically today we have all these different types of lines, but we are only going to be working with ones that look like this. Only going to be working on ones like this and like this. Now remember, in front of that x is technically a 1, and that's what makes that one technically a slope-intercept form. All right, so remember, this don't really worry about. Yeah, we don't have to worry about this. Okay, it's just saying direct variation. They technically use the letter K. I didn't even show you guys that because it actually is more confusing. But basically, all we're doing, this is what we did yesterday, well, y equals kx, but I showed you as mx. So really the only thing new today is this number right here. All right. So when we're given a line, the first two things we want to identify is the slope and the y-intercept. So the slope is whatever number's ever in front of the x. So right here. And remember, we always want rise over run. So when it's a number by itself, always put the 1 under it. Okay, that's going to make it a lot easier when you guys start graphing. All right. Now we need the y-intercept. The y-intercept can be positive or negative. In this case, we have a -3. So you really want to jot that down. Make sure you include that, okay? So remember, we have our x and our y-axis. All right. So now, yesterday, we always started at 0, 0. Okay? So whenever we had our point, I had you guys start right here, and you guys went up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. up 2 over 1. So that's what we did yesterday. And then we created our line. Today, we aren't starting at 0, 0. We will never start at 0, 0 when we have a y-intercept. We are always going to start at this point on the y-axis. So we have to go down 1, 2, 3. The negative 3 is now going to be our starting point. Okay, so we're going to start right here. And now we're going to go up our 2, 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, and we always do 4 points. And now that is our line. So like you can see, it's very similar to what we did yesterday. This is the exact same line as if you went through the origin. The only difference is now we have that B, so it shifted it down for us. All right, cool. Let's go and try this one. First thing we're going to do is identify our slope. We have a positive slope of 1/3. We have a y-intercept of 5. So I'm going to start at the 5 now. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I can zoom in a little bit closer for you guys. I'm going to start at the 5. I'll make this a little bigger. And now I'm going up 1. Always rise first. Rise 1 over 3. So rise 1 over 3. 1, 2, 3. Rise 1 over 3. 1, 2, 3. Rise 1 over 3. 1, 2, 3. And if you ever wanted to, you can always go down 1 to the left 3. Down 1 to the left 3. You can see it still makes that nice staircase. Down 1 to the left 3. And then once we do that, we can go back to our shapes. And we can draw our line. Now that one's way off. So I'm going to fix it. There we go. All right. So hopefully you're getting this. Hopefully this is ringing a bell. All right. So we got our last one that we're going to do together. And then you guys are going to work on IXL. So we have our slope is this time it's a negative slope. So it should be going downhill. Negative 3 over 2 with a y-intercept of 2. So now I'm going to go down to my y-intercept of 2. It's a positive 2. So on my y-axis, I'm going to go up 2. All right. And now I'm going to go down 3. 1, 2, 3 to the right 2. Okay. You never go down and to the left because if you do 2 negatives, it's going to be a positive. All right. So when we go down 3, 1, 2, 3 to the right 2, notice that it will end up being a downhill line. You guys see that? And it's a negative slope. So when we read from left to right, it should be going downhill. So we know we're graphing it the right way. So I'm going to go down 3 more. 1, 2, 3 to the right 2. And there we go. And you can notice compared to the first 2 we did, those 2 are both going positive slopes. So they're going uphill, where this one is going downhill because it has the negative in front. All right. So that's all you guys are doing today is we're taking what we did yesterday. We're using the rise over run, and we are building lines. Now, tomorrow, you guys are going to do this. We're going to take 2 points. We're going to turn it into a slope. I'm going to give you the formula to find the slope. All right. And then we're going to use another one of the points to find our y-intercept, and then we're going to graph a line. So we're going to put 3 things together, 2 things that you already know and 1 new thing. All right. So that's all we got for you guys today. And then you'll find the IXL in Canvas.